Maybe just wait a couple of minutes and see if, or a few moments, see if anyone else is coming in. Why don't we, while we're waiting, just spend a bit of time gazing at all these lovely faces on the screen, taking one another in. You know, like if we were on a retreat together, we'd be occupying the same space, we would have had lunch together, maybe gone for a walk with someone. So just imagining all those connections. It's such a nice thing to do, isn't it? Just to spend a few moments taking one another in and also giving oneself, you know, how open can we be in the way we are engaging with the screen? All these beings. Sean's cat. Okay. It's a nice way to prepare for the practice, isn't it? For a loving kindness practice, Tong Len. Someone had sent a question saying, what's the difference between Lo Jong and Tong Len? So Lo Jong means mind training. So that's the name for the whole approach. And then Tong Len is the actual specific practice of taking in awareness of others, perhaps in particular their suffering, and then giving out well-wishing. The one that Dharmadina was described as, we're taking in compassion and we're giving back, giving out metta, which I thought was a really good way of describing it. So Tong Len is that specific practice, and Lo Jong is the whole system of mind training. I think Lo might be mind and Jong might be training in Tibetan. That's very, very rough translation. Something along those lines. Okay, so let's begin to settle. Choosing our position as always. Choosing it wisely, with intentionality, with clarity, with choice. We're never going to get these 45 minutes ever again in our life. So how can we make the most of them? What position is going to support relaxation and yet alertness? And allowing our body to settle into this position. Having a sense of presence. Yielding your weight into gravity without collapsing. So, sense of surrender, release, receiving the support of the chair, the floor, and yet a sense of vitality, alertness, aliveness. And I've got a poem today that I came across the other day, which I think is really beautiful, and it expresses so much of what we're trying to do here. It's called Small Kindnesses by Danusha Lameris. And it's showing how kindness is natural. So in a way, what we're doing in these practices is we are releasing into the natural way of things. I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by. Or how strangers still say, bless you, when someone sneezes. A leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes, when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and to say thank you to the person handing it, to smile at them and for them to smile back. For the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder, and for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire. Only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy? These fleeting temples we make together when we say, here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I like your hat. I think that really expresses the simplicity of this practice. Here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I think that shows us how what we're doing in these practices is not foreign, it's not strange. It's more that we're unwinding the things that block these natural responses of love and friendliness, being other regarding. On the first stage, dropping deeply into our own body, our own breath, resting inside the breath and the whole body. Our Vedana, our thoughts, our emotions, the whole flow of experience. That we label with an I. And in order to be whole, it's important that we let in everything, including the unwanted, the things we habitually contract against and push away. Or the things that we're grasping after. Or the things that we're confused about. Let's receive it all into awareness, breathing in everything without exception and breathing out love, release, kindness towards ourselves. If you're feeling strained, perhaps relaxing a little bit more. If you're drifting, perhaps focusing a little bit more. Releasing and opening, releasing and opening again and again around our experience. Staying grounded and centered, opening our awareness to invite in a friend in whatever way allows them to be as vivid as possible in our awareness. It's a feeling or an image. Allowing this person to shimmer into vitality, into life. They're not an object. They're a human being just like oneself. Full of body awareness, sensation, a mass of Vedana moment by moment, thoughts and emotions, often tending towards tight states, with the potential for moving towards more open states, just like oneself. That have all the same kinds of suffering, greed, pulling towards hatred, pushing away, delusion, going round and round, tight and rigid and stuck and sluggish or scatty, dispersed, restless, worried. The expression of these tendencies will be different, of course, but the basic tendencies are very, very alike. And they'll have potential just like us, for a mind and a heart that can move towards open, vast, unbounded states. So we can breathe in full awareness of this person in their wholeness, and breathing out love, metta, well-wishing towards them. May they be free, may their minds be vast. Be particularly mindful of turning away from the suffering aspect of their lives. We turn towards that wisely, gently, tenderly. We meet that on the in-breath with care, love, tenderness, and then breathing out release. And pause through them with each out-breath. At any point we get overwhelmed, we can broaden, release into the back of the body, stability of the body, the whole body. If we're still feeling a bit withdrawn, maybe a bit blocked, not quite connecting, then we can come a little bit closer to this person. Breathing in awareness of them and breathing out love, release, kindness. Allowing the sense of the friend to fade gently. Just spend a few moments with ourselves. Mindfulness of our body, our breath, thoughts, emotions, Vedana. If there's anything that's contracted, building up in our own experience, we can turn towards that again. Breathe it in and breathe out, release. Checking the body still resting in gravity, still supported. We're not gripping onto the body with effort. And when we're ready, we can invite a neutral person into our field of awareness. Somebody that, if we're honest, we probably do relate to them more as an object than a human like ourselves. Maybe one of the faces on the screen, somebody that you've seen here, but you don't know them. So let's spend a few moments bringing this person to life in our imagination. They're embodied, they're breathing. Continual flow of sensations and Vedana pouring through their experience moment by moment. They'll have a tendency to push away things they don't like, to cling onto things they like with all the emotions and the thoughts that come with that. Have a tendency to go round and round in circles when they're confused. Sometimes their awareness, their mind will get very tight and narrow and dull. Sometimes it will be scatty and restless, worried, just like us. And they too have the potential and probably have moments of tasting a mind-heart that is vast, open, free, released. On the in-breath, breathing in all the suffering that comes from their contracted states. And on the out-breath, really wishing them well, wishing them freedom, wishing them openness. So we're not turning away from anything. We're being a compassionate warrior with the presence of this person. So letting the image or the feeling of that person to gently fade. And turning towards our own direct experience fully for a few moments. Adjusting our posture if there's tension and gripping building up. Checking that the 4 diaphragms are participating in the breathing. Body, mind, heart, pliable. Yielding up to the support of the chair and the floor. If there's anything uncomfortable, breathing it in and breathing out, release, freedom, openness. So we're unwinding habits of resistance, aversion, pushing away, and we're cultivating habits of welcome, openness, receptivity. And now we bring to mind somebody that we find difficult in one way or another. Maybe we find them annoying or irritating or frustrating. Or maybe something stronger. Let them come into our field of awareness, however they arrive. Seeing if we can soften the barrier that we've erected between us and them with our own aversion. And maybe we do that by breathing in our own aversion and breathing out, softening, release. And then we raise our gaze to let this person in to our field of awareness. And recognizing, feeling into our common humanity. We're both embodied, we're both breathing. We both tend to push away things we don't like, to pull things we do like towards us, hang on, grasp, go round and round in circles when we're confused. Sometimes we'll have a tight, dull mind. Other times we'll have a scatty, restless mind. And the way this person expresses these tendencies, of course, will be unique to them as they are to us. But the basic tendencies will be very similar. And they too will have potential for a mind that's free and open, fast. So breathing in a recognition of their suffering and breathing out, release, openness, well-wishing, metta. If at any point our own aversion rises up, we just turn and breathe that in and breathe out, release. So now having all four of us together, just checking again in on our own body, that we're not pushing anything away, letting everything be present, and then including the other three people, the friend, neutral person we find difficult. And let's just breathe together for a few moments, sharing this experience of being alive, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in recognition that we all suffer, and breathing out while wishing freedom from suffering, potential to have a vast mind. See if we can let go of preference. Resting in our common humanity. And let's invite everyone here into this field of common humanity, of love, of awareness, of openness. Laying down our likes and our dislikes, our preferences. And let's all be together. Breathing in and out. We all suffer, and we all long to be free of suffering. Breathing in awareness of our suffering, breathing out love, release, openness. For all of us equally. And now allowing this to expand infinitely. All the humans, all the creatures, resting in the flow of life. All trying to avoid suffering, all trying to be happy, but often going about it in strange ways that lead to more suffering. Breathing in our shared experience that involves so much struggle, and breathing out release, freedom, openness. And allowing the field of awareness to Come a little closer so we feel the weight of the body in the foreground of awareness. Breathing in the whole body. If you've got any tension, we breathe it in and we breathe out, release. And let's spend the last few minutes letting go of any effort whatsoever and just sitting, absorbing the practice. So, anybody interested in sharing anything that you noticed in that practice? Starting to pull things together a bit more now, the sort of whole experience of self and the whole experience of others, bringing in the different dimensions of body, breath, Vedana Chitta. Yes. How do you pronounce it? Is it Kara?
Yes, it's Kara.
Okay,
yes. Yeah, I just wanted to share, it's kind of a mixture of this morning's and this one. I got actually quite overwhelmed by emotion. The sort of the pain side of things nearly. I felt quite overwhelmed by the sort of the world pain. I could hear next door there were people shouting and cursing, and it sort of got incorporated into my practice in that sort of shared sympathy with everybody doing their best to manage everything at home. I actually got quite overwhelmed and I felt tears streaming down my face during it. I just kind of sat with it and did my best to breathe out, sort of take that in and breathe out metta. But for this one, then this afternoon's one, I actually I fell asleep during the difficult person one, and then woke straight up again afterwards when it was all beings. So I don't know, maybe was I protecting myself or something?
Thanks. So when you felt overwhelmed, what was how did you feel after that?
This morning's one or
yeah, I mean, let's stick with this morning's one for the minute.
So I kind of had tears streaming down my face, and because you did the transference of merit straight after this morning's one, that really felt very natural, that I was able to kind of give up that sort of pain that I had experienced and the pain that whoever else was next door was experiencing. it felt natural to go into the transference of merits from that. So
Mm.
there was a sort of a nice resolution to it.
That's interesting. Good. So that's something to learn, isn't it? That you can call on the transference of merit at a time if you feel overwhelmed. And did the overwhelm feel, like the octopus on the face, or more just, oh, there's such a lot of suffering in the world?
Yeah, the latter actually. Yes, yeah. I didn't kind of, as you say, do that to it or turn away from it. I just kind of said, oh, there you are. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, good. So it sounds like you were just really with it. And I think in some ways, I think I said at the beginning, didn't I? Sometimes these retreats at home, they do have benefits. Although I don't really want to say this for the Taraloka team, because poor Taraloka is losing so much money and everything, to be very sympathetic towards. And of course, being on retreat is amazing. But there you are at home and you got all the shouting and yelling going on next door. And how do you deal with that? What is one's response to that?
Yeah.
Because that is the human condition. And one can get angry and frustrated, and why they're doing that, and wish they'd shut up. We can have all those responses. But it sounded like this morning you were actually able to turn towards it and let it in. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's quite interesting, this word overwhelm, because of course overwhelm can mean, oh, it's all too much, or it can mean, oh, this is it. This is the human condition. Which one was it for you, do you think, of those two interpretations?
I think it could very easily have been the first one, but with the transference of merits, it actually became the second. And I was able to kind of be more with the whole world rather than going, the world.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and I think as I was leading it just then, if we do get these kind of feelings arising during the practice, then we turn towards those. This practice to always turn towards whatever's happening. So if it's over, when we turn towards those, what do I need now? It might be that one needs to relax, rest, even stop the practice, just back off, regroup, come into the body and the breath, and then that's the practice. So whatever's happening, we make the practice. Good. Thank you very much, Cara.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Christine. We can't hear you. You need to unmute, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Vidyamala. What I found with this one, I felt I was less with the meditation we've just done. I feel like I've been trying too hard. And with this one, now this is hard to articulate, but it became more a felt sense of taking in and a felt sense of giving out love and compassion, like a wave. Is this making sense?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to articulate how you actually feel when you're doing it. But what I did feel was I wasn't overwhelmed and I wasn't cold. I was in balanced, I think. And it felt, if I felt myself become a little bit distracted, I focused on a word, say sorrow, stress. And then on the out breath, compassion, love. And they made me smile and open up, because for me, I have a really bad memory of remembering things. But if I can get the essence of something and I trust myself, and I think that's what I did this time. It doesn't always happen, but I trusted my approach, if you like.
Yeah.
Does that sound clear?
Yeah, sounds really good. So, and also you had a little insight, I think, that maybe you've been trying too hard.
Yes.
So what makes you think you've been trying too hard? How did you come to that?
I think I made the difference in the experience today. Just something in me, I call them my glimmers when I have little insights. Something just said, do it this way, for want of a better.
Yeah.
And I trusted it.
Mm.
And I think that trust made me just open up, become more malleable with it.
Yeah, good. Malleable. That's a lovely word.
Yeah. Yeah.
And lovely, that image of the wave on the beach.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think what you're getting to, Christine, is the simplicity of the practice. I think with these practices, it's a very, very strong tendency to complicate them and get overly analytical and try too hard, which
yes.
is what you've recognized in yourself. I think many of us do that, but it's a beautifully simple practice. It's just kind of turning towards, letting go, turning towards, letting go. And a lovely idea to bring a word in. Sorrow, love. That's lovely. Yeah, I've not heard that before, but that's a lovely thing to do.
I often do that in different meditations, and it does, and it becomes more like a dance.
Yeah, and it's good. But what you're also doing there is with the mind. If our mind is a little bit active, as it usually is, it's giving the mind a little job, which is to remember a word.
I never thought of that.
And that can be really good. So just to give our mind just a little task. That's why I think counting and the mindfulness of breathing can be very helpful, because you're just giving your active mind a little job, which is, you've got to, remember to count from 1 to 10. Because sometimes to going from a very scatty mind to being still is difficult. We need a sort of transition. Mm-hmm. So actually having a word like that, beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
That sounds really, sounds like you rested in the practice then, from the way you're describing it. Oh, and how do you feel afterwards? What's the consequences?
Great peace and joy. Yeah, expansive.
And so that's so interesting that you've had 40 minutes of turning towards contracted states in yourself and others and breathing out love, and the consequence of that is joy. And that's what's often said about these teachings, is that they bring joy. And of course that seems just ridiculous from a kind of logical point of view. Let's just all sit and contemplate suffering and you're going to feel joy. You think, how does that work? But you've just described it very well.
Yeah.
We're letting go of these tight states, which are releasing. Yes, there's suffering. Let's meet that. Let's let go of this habit of just turning away all the time. Yeah. And then it's such a lovely thing to give. I mean, like that poem I read at the beginning, where releasing into something that is natural for us. Yes. Here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I love that.
Yes, it's so simple, but
it's very simple. It's very, very simple. The practice is very simple. So thank you very much, Christine.
Thank you for introducing me to it.
Good. So we better stop there so you all get your lovely refreshment break. But of course, we have to stay like good people and sort out the groups, really help the Taraloka team, who are doing such an amazing job. I feel like I really want to completely delight in Taraloka now, which I'm going to just do in 1 sentence, and then I will do it much more at another time. But yeah, how amazing that oh, look, we can see them, Taraloka team. How amazing that we can do this, that they have enabled us all to gather, even in the pandemic, from all these different countries, all these different places, and join them. And they're doing a superb job. And then the evenings, aren't the evenings absolutely gorgeous in the Tara cabin? So I find it's very important to me that you women are keeping the flame alive at our most precious retreat centre. Oh, I don't mean most precious, more precious than the others. They're all most precious, but our very precious retreat centre.
No, we can be most precious.
Okay, good. So I'll stop.
Thank you, Vidyamala. So the group, the rooms have been open. So if you know how to get to your group, off you pop. And if you're stuck or you're not sure what to do, just stick around for a few minutes and we will get you where you need to go.
Taralaka, there's nothing come up for Nagarachta's group or any other group that I can see.
Okay.
Do you want me to do the instructions?
Yeah.
Okay then, folks. So this is
it looks as if some of my group have actually gone to their group, but I can't see how I could get there, and I hadn't had problems before.
Sure. So what device are you on, Nagarachta?
I'm on an ordinary laptop PC.
Okay, right, marvelous. So if you waggle your mouse so that you can see the menu bar along the bottom. Yeah, okay. Is there anything along there saying breakout rooms? Okay, so click on that. Okay, and then look for your own name and click on that, and there should be opposite your own name, there'll be something saying join. Any luck?
Got it, yes, thanks.
Marvellous.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it doesn't always come up as a pop-up when you have to, then you have to go and look for it in breakout groups.
Right, there she goes.
Okay, marvellous. Right, so who else have we got who's struggling to get in? Okay, Bryony. Would you just like to be allocated, or did you have a go at updating Zoom, Bryony? No, okay, that's way too scary, but that's fine. We can just allocate you. That's not a problem. Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, where are you going, Bryony?
I'm going to Caymany, please.
Caymany, okay.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, who else have we got who needs a hand?
Me, please. It's Tasha.
Okay, then, Tasha. Right. Do you want to have a go at doing it yourself, or do you want just want us to send you there?
Could you send me there, and I'll try and update Zoom later? I think that's my issue.
Sure, great.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and just remind me where you're going again.
Maitramati, please.
Maitramati, fine. There you go.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay, Lex, what about you?
Hello, yeah, so I think I was a little bit late on joining the retreat, and I think that I was too late to join a group. I think it said that I would have to lead my own, is that correct?
Yes, probably. Have you not been in a group so far?
No, because I've just been busy moving house at the moment, so
yeah,
I couldn't make it over the weekend.
Yeah, completely fair enough. I'm afraid, yeah, for this retreat, you've probably missed the opportunity to be.
That's okay, yeah. So, no, I understand.
Yeah, but good effort for trying to move house and be on a retreat at the same time.
I know, and I've just got a puppy as well, so yeah, it's a very busy time. But I just wanted to clear that up in case I got confused. But thank you very much anyway.
No worries. I hope you really enjoy the rest.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Right. And we've got Sarah here.
Yes, Vidyamala, please.
Vidyamala, okay. Off you pop.
Thank you.
That's all right. And is Laura here? Or perhaps we just need to check, see which group she is in. Or Serena.
I'm here, but I'm here. Hi, hello.
Hi, Serena. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. I haven't put myself in a group, I thought. Oh, shall I go and do it again?
Oh, yes. Yeah. If you don't mind having a go at that. And if not...
And hello, Sarah. I know Sarah's frozen or something.
I'm here. It's Laura.
Oh, hi, Laura.
Oh, I'm with the Mokshani. I'll go right in. Sorry.
Oh, all right. Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't do the second press. I only did the...
That'll be it.